I'm going to play for you a bossa nova song that uses some really cool jazz chords, and then I'll break down the chords so I can explain how they're formed, and then you'll get a pretty good idea of what 11th, 9th, 11th, 13th chords, sharpened 5ths, 9ths, and all these things, what it actually means, and how to make sense of those chords. So this is how the song goes. Okay, let's go over some of those chords and get an idea of how these, the theory behind these jazz chords. Okay, so the first chord I played was a D minor 9. Let's go make it a C minor 9, slide it down to the 3rd fret here, becomes a C minor 9. Okay, major chords, as you probably know, are formed by the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th of the scale, and that makes a major chord. To make a chord minor, the 3rd note in that chord is flattened. So when you flatten the 3rd in the C major, it becomes a E flat. So you have C, E flat, G. That's a C minor. And any chord that has 9, 11, 13 in the title, one thing that is not mentioned is that another note that you put in there is the flattened 7th, which is basically the 7th in any 7th chord. So the C7, that's actually a flattened 7th. So you also put the 7th in those chords. So this chord being a C minor 9, now for the 9th, 11th, and 13th, a good way that I've discovered to easily understand what those numbers mean is you subtract the number from 7, and it's easier to figure out that way. So in this particular example, the C minor 9, 9 minus 7 is 2, and the 2 note in the C major scale is D. So what it means is you're adding the D note to the C minor and C minor 7, so you got C minor 9. This is the 1, this is the flattened 3rd, this is the flattened 7th, and that's the 9th, which is the D. Okay, the next chord that I play is a G13. Now this chord, unlike the other one, has its tonic note on the 6th string. So that's the chord, in this particular case, it's the G. Okay, so let's break down what we're playing here. This is the 1. This next note here on the 4th string is the flattened 7th, just like in the G7. That's the flattened 7th right there. This next note is the B, which is the 3rd of the 3rd in the G chord, and then that one, okay, 13 minus 7 is 6. The 6th note in the G major scale is E. So to form a G13th, we're adding an E note. That's why it's a G13. The next one is a C6-9. So in that particular chord, we're adding the 6 and the 9 of the C major scale. The 6 in the C major scale is A, and the 9 is D. 9 minus 7 is 2. It's a D. So this is a C major. You add the A, it becomes a C6, and you add the 9, the D note, that now is a C6-9. The index finger is playing on the 2nd fret to the 3rd and the 4th string there. The next chord I play is way up here, and that's called an F major 9. So let's bring it down here. Again, the tonic note is on the 5th string on this chord. So over here it's a C major 9. So again, 9 because you're adding the D. 9 minus 7 is 2, you're adding the D right there, that note. The note above this one on the 3rd string, that's just a B. So that makes it the C major 7. So that's the 7th. In this particular case, that's why it's called a C major 9, because you're adding actually the 7, not the flattened 7th. And that makes it a C major. Okay, so if you play it up here with the tonic on the 8th fret, it's an F major 9. Next chord I play in this song is a B minor 7 flattened 5th. Okay. The tonic note is on the 6th string, so that's the 1 there. This one is the 7th, the flattened 7th. This one is the flattened 3rd. And then this note is the flattened 5th. That just means you find the 5th note in that chord, and you flatten it 1 semitone. So this is the B minor 7 flattened 5th. The next chord is an E7 sharpened 9th, very commonly used by Jimi Hendrix. Let's move it down to C7 sharpened 9th. You see the top 3 are the notes from a C7 chord. You got the tonic, the 3rd, E. This one is the flattened 7th. And then this note, remember the 9th was D, so the sharpened 9th is D sharp. C7 sharpened 9th. You play it up here like I do in the song, and it's an E7 sharpened 9th. The next chord I play is a B flat 13th. We went over that formation for the G13th. So if this is a G13th, you move it up to here, the 6th fret, it becomes a B flat 13th. Okay, the next chord I play is an A minor 11. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, 11 minus 7, 4. The 4th note in the A major scale is D. So you basically play these notes, which are from an A minor, and you add this note, which is the D note, on top of those, and you got an A minor 11. And then this one of the last chords I play now is this one. Now this one is called an A7 flattened 13th or sharpened 5th. Okay, 13 minus 7 is 6, so that in the A scale, major scale, the 6 is the F sharp. So let's see. That would be F sharp. You flatten it. That's why it's called A7 flattened 13th. But it can also be called A7 sharpened 5th. Why? Because the 5th note in the A major scale is E. You sharpen the 5th, it becomes an F. So the flattened 13th, sharpened 5th, same thing. Same note. And then I just finish with the note, with the chord that I started, the D minor 9. And the final chord in that song is a C major 7, which is a C chord with a B note played, the major 7. Okay, so I hope that takes some of the mystery out of all these weird 9th, 11th, 13th chords. Just minus that number from 7, and it'll tell you the note in that major scale. And don't forget to add the flattened 7th as well. Thanks. If you made it through this whole video, good for you. You have lots of patience.